Hello, noble families and students. I hope you are well. This video is on Math Lesson 11.8. We're going to go ahead and get right into the video of going over how to complete the problems for Lesson 11.8. So let's go ahead and begin. Our Lesson 11.8 is titled Area of Combined Rectangles. And our essential question is, how can you break apart a figure to find the area? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking some shapes and we're going to be breaking those shapes apart and finding the area of the individual pieces of the shape. Our first question says that Anna's rug has side lengths of 4 feet and 9 feet. What is the area of Anna's rug? What they would like us to do is to use square tiles to complete this problem, but we don't have square tiles to use, so we're going to be using this grid paper to show our model. So we want a shape that is 4 by 9. Okay, because remember, the length is 4 feet and the width is 9 feet. Okay, so I'm going to start here about the center of my paper, and I'm just going to draw 4 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw 9 units over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to then go 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 9 units over to complete our rectangle. Okay? They now want us to draw a vertical line to break apart the model to make 2 smaller rectangles. Okay? So what we can do is we can go ahead and we can take a line and we can just draw it somewhere in the middle, a vertical line, something like this, through our shape. So I now have 2 rectangle shapes. One is actually a square shape, but 2 rectangular shapes. And the side length 9 is broken into blank plus blank. So I notice this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one has side lengths now of 4. And the other one has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so 4 and 5. 4 plus 5. We're now going to find, and remember this was 4, this was 4, this was 9 in all, so we'll put a 9 up here and a 9 down here. But now it is 4 and 5. 4 and 5. So the first rectangle, which is this shape right here, to find the area, we want to multiply the width by the length. So it is now 4 and 4. So we're going to do 4 times 4. And our other shape is now 4 times 5. Okay? And multiplying those out, 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times 5 is 20. If we want to find the total area of the whole shape, then we want to go ahead and add 16 plus 20 together. It's going to give us an answer of 36 square feet. And we can check that by doing 4 times 9. 4 times 9 does equal 36. And that's actually what it's going to ask us to do for step 6. Check your answer by counting the number of square feet. So we could also count each individual block. But I like doing 4 times 9. And we're going to get an answer of 36 square feet. The area of Anna's rug is 36 square feet. Let's move on to page... that was page 669. Let's move on to page 670. So using the distributive property, you found that you could break apart a rectangle into smaller rectangles and add the area of each smaller rectangle to find the total area. How can you break apart this figure into rectangles to find its area? Well, they're going to show us 2 ways here, as we can see is detailed in the next 2 parts of how to break that rectangle. So we can use a horizontal line like the one they drew here, or we can use a vertical line like the one they drew here. And notice how they went along the edge of the shape both ways. Okay, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't make sense to cut it here or over here. All right, it's nice to go along the shape, so we have 2 nice rectangles. Okay, so looking at shape number 1 here, which is, they're both the same, but this one's got our horizontal line going this way. I notice that this is 1, 2, 3. So this rectangle has 3 for its width, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for its length. This shape down here has 3 at the bottom and 3 on the side. So rectangle 1 could be 3 times 7, and rectangle 2 could be 3 times 3. We multiply those, we're going to get 21 and 9. 3 times 7 is 21, and 3 times 3 is 9. Step 2 is to add those products to find the total area. So we're going to add 21 plus 9. When we add 21 plus 9, okay, we are going to get an answer of 30. Okay? So the area of this shape right now is 30 square units. Do you guys think, before I do the second part of this, do you guys think that this shape is also going to be 30 square units? If you're thinking carefully, you notice that these are the same shapes, and even though we cut them differently, it's not going to matter. Our answer is still going to end up with 30 units. Do you think the areas of the two rectangles is going to be any different? That's a good question. Okay? Think about it. Are these shapes going to have different areas? Well, go ahead and take a look at it. So this shape, I noticed the first one has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 width and a 1, 2, 3 length. Whereas this shape has a 1, 2, 3, 4 length and a 3 width. So my first shape, 6 times 3. My second shape can be 4 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18, and 4 times 3 is 12. Alright, now we can go ahead and add those products together to find the total area. 18 plus 12, and if you thought about it carefully, these shapes are going to have the same area. 18 plus 12 is going to be 30 square units. Okay? Go down to the bottom of the page here. Let's do number 1. Draw a line to break apart the figure into rectangles. Find the total area of the figure. So again, you can draw a vertical line. You can draw a horizontal line. I'm going to go ahead and draw a vertical one for this problem. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and look at my shape. I have 2 for this width, 4 for the length, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this shape I have 1, 2, 3 for the length, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the width. I'm going to go ahead and multiply those together. We have 2 times 4 for the first shape, and 3 times 4 for the second shape. 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 4 is 12. We're going to go ahead and add those products together. 8 plus 12, and we'll get an answer of 20 square units. Okay, if I would have did it horizontally, would I have gotten the same area? Of course. My shapes would have been different, but my area would still have been the same. Go ahead and move on to page 671. Number 2. Use the distributive property to find the area. Show your multiplication and addition equations. So again, instead of doing the whole thing, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this shape. A nice way to cut this one, I noticed, is that this is a rectangle, and we can cut it evenly if we go horizontally here. Okay? So I now have a shape on the top that is 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a shape on the bottom that is also 2 by 7. So what I can do is I can go ahead and do 2 times 7. That is going to give me an answer of 14. And I can add, because I know I have 2 of these shapes, okay, I can do another 2 times 7 equals 14. And I can go ahead and add 14 plus 14, and that is going to give me an answer 28 square units. Okay? For your classwork, you are going to do number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So you can go ahead and draw your lines. You can do horizontal, you can do vertical, whatever works best for you. And then you can go ahead and remember that you need to write 2 multiplication equations for your 2 shapes, then add their products together for each problem. Okay? So choose where you like to draw your line, and then I would go ahead and mark each length and width carefully. Okay, you're going to do the same thing for all 5 problems, 3 through 7, on page 671. Please submit that work for lesson 11.8 when you are finished. And that is the end of lesson 11.8. So thank you for your time. Feel free to ask any questions that you have, and have a tremendous day. Mr. Koblenz, out.